Emil Paparella, County Legislator. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you so much for taking some time to come in. We talked to your primary opponent last segment. Is it 31 years? He thought it had been 3 decades on the county.
I didn't think it was that long.
Thanks for reminding me, right?
Yeah. So if you've been about, we'll say, give or take, 3 decades on the county legislature, you've spent some time there. You've seen some development in this community. Talk about maybe some of your accomplishments or why you think the voters should give you another opportunity to serve them.
Okay. What I enjoy about this position is that your vote actually can make a difference sometimes. Some examples are when I first got involved was the creation of the Oneida County Solid Waste Authority. That was one. We had renovations to the Oneida County Jail, which was a hot topic. Mm-hmm. And you could see they're going through that in the Herkimer County area right now.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I think one of the biggest things was the Griffiths, when the service pulled out, we lost a ton of jobs. Mm-hmm. And I think the Edge has done an excellent job of bringing the different outfits into the Griffiths Air Force Base. I think we're upward maybe 5,000 jobs that are back up there.
Yeah, it's happening.
The rebuild there is incredible. Yeah.
And the county we've put money in there to try and save DFAS and the Rome Lab and EADS.
So you on the Oneida County Legislature have I think a relatively important vote coming up. It's the vote on Oneida County paying for 60% or bonding for 60% of the downtown hospital parking garage. Where do you stand on that, and how will you vote if you choose to share?
Okay. I at our neighborhood watch meeting, they brought in the No Downtown people, and I listened to their presentation. And then the Mohawk Valley Health Services came into the county chambers and talked about it. So I evaluated those different positions, and I listened to Edge put out a report on the hospital plan. And my position is I don't want to lose the $300 million, okay? Right. You have a young assemblyman named Anthony Pisani who's changing his mind and now wants to run for Congress.
Brindisi.
Yeah. He is very powerful in the assembly, and I'm afraid that if you recall a couple of years ago, they took the money out of the budget, and they had to fight like hell to get it back in. And I think that if he leaves the assembly, that they're going to say, this fella doesn't care anything about that money. We need it someplace else downstate. So I'm worried about losing the $300 million. That's number one.
So you think that the quicker the better on the hospital getting underway?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, you can argue back and forth just so long. Then there comes a point when you have to make a decision.
And they say everybody loses.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's my approach to that. I'm in favor of it. We had a meeting to try and decide on the parking garage, okay? A lot of the legislators, you must remember, we've got 23 legislators that come from all over. Mm-hmm. Some of them are not happy. They would have liked a 50-50 split. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we were trying to sell the point that it's a hospital for everybody. You're coming up with new medical research, new professionals, and it's going to grow the city of Utica. If it grows the city of Utica, it's going to grow the county. So we hashed it back and forth, and we ended up with a kind of a show of hands what we wanted, and it came out to be 60-40. So,
and you think that's a fair?
I think so.
Yeah, that's a fair amount. So you are in favor of the hospital. You are in, I believe, 3 primaries coming up on primary day.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
Yes.
It's against the same person, right?
As I get older, I don't understand this. I should have had this when I was 20.
That's funny. So it's the Republican, Conservative, and Independents primary.
Correct.
All right. Emil Paparella, anything else
And
you'd like
working
to go ahead?
families primary.
Oh, you're into working families, so that's 4.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Anything else you'd like to share with the voters why they should reelect you?
Well, yeah, just a couple of things, if I may.
Sure.
Now that you got me in here, I just want to talk about. We have in North Utica and other sections of the city what they call a neighborhood watch, and they present different problems that come up in different areas, and one of the problems that comes up is the codes, and I don't know if you recall, but the county has given like over $200,000 to support the codes in the city of Utica to help try and clean up the area. My volunteer experience, I'm a treasurer and a board member of the North Utica Senior Center. It's the community center in North Utica. Years ago, there was an old fellow by the name of Tiny Williams, him and a group of guys, El Calogero, Wessinger. They had an apartment house that they had, and the seniors used to go to the apartment house. Since then, we've got a new group have taken over, and we've moved from the apartment house, and we've built a new building on Riverside Drive to help the seniors. And we also have children in there on half of the building and seniors on the other half, so the children help support the center. I've been a past trustee of St. Peter's Church. I'm a member of the Eagles and the Manicore. I work at their Bavarian Festival all the time, and a member of the Moose Lodge. When I was a little younger and my kids were young, I was a scouting coordinator for the Boy Scouts Troop 27 in North Utica. Okay? Some of my accomplishments, I have to write some of this stuff down because my memory, disappears after a while. But
I know what you're going through.
All right, I fought and I was out there picketing when we tried to get rid of the sex offenders in the motels in North Utica. That was one of the things. I supported Samantha Testa, the councilwoman, who was a big leader in stopping that asphalt plant from coming into North Utica. She asked for my help, and I was there. Normally, you don't interfere between city and councilman. You watch where your territory is.
Sure.
She asked for help. Anytime the city asks for help, I'm there for them. Okay? I was one of the first that was against fracking. Fracking sounds like a good deal, but if you talk to the farmers out there, you could own a piece of property, and the guy next to you could turn his farm into fracking, and these people can drill down a mile, and they could drill down sideways another mile, so they're going under their neighbor's property.
Sure.
And I didn't think that was fair. And most of the towns,
especially if that neighbor's not getting the compensation for it.
Exactly, and most of the towns and the villages were against it, and I want to help support them. So I put in a law with my co-partner, Chad Davis, a Democrat. We joined together, and we finally got the thing through. It took us a couple of years, but we got it through. I also sponsor the 4-H kids come in from Cornell Cooperative Extension from different schools, and they come and learn about county government. And one guy comes in, a young fella, and he has this looked like a pipe to me, a big cigar. And I said, "Well, what is that?" And he says, "Oh, that's an e-cigarette." And I said, "I'm against smoking. I know people enjoy smoking, but as you get older, you're going to find out that your health is more important than the smoking." So anyway, I learned a little more about this e-cigarettes. It was kind of new, and I says, I'm going to sponsor something in the county where they eliminate cigarettes, e-cigarettes in the county buildings. We have social services department where they're bringing young kids into the department. And we're going to have our employees smoking e-cigarettes in front of these kids? No way. So that was one of the things. The other big thing that we've got is flood control. Am I going?
No, you're doing fine.
All right, okay.
We'll hit one more topic and then we'll wrap up. Okay.
Okay. Flooding. North Utica and other parts of the city are concerned about the flooding. We're trying to work together. We had a big flooding incident at the Riverside Mall. We're trying to resolve that. We have to get the state involved. The state has created this problem by everyone knows water runs downhill. And so Utica happens to be at the bottom of the hill. So we're trying to work with the state and resolve the problems. We have to solve this problem.
Emil, I appreciate you coming in to kind of outline some of your stance on some topics and some of the things that you've worked on over the past several years. Again, you're in a primary with Frank Gentile.
Yes.
And it is the 23rd Legislative District, which is primarily North Utica?
Primarily North Utica, and I have several streets in East Utica. I think it's like half of Millgate over to the east side line.
Okay. All right. Emil Paparella, thanks for your time and good luck.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks.